Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at race number 3 at Saratoga on Saturday. It is the Grade 3 Saranac 3-year-olds going a mile on the inner turf. Before we get to the analysis, head on over to the DRF Saratoga handicapping shop. You'll find PPs, picks, clocker reports, betting strategies, and all the must-have tools to win big at Saratoga. Learn more at drf.com/spa. Here's the field for the Grade 3 Saranac. It's a very well-matched group, and then you've got the X Factor coming in from overseas for Chad Brown, Mike. It's the number 4 Limperator. He may not have faced the strongest company over there, but you got to respect Chad and Javier.
Yeah, especially with a horse who's won 3 races in a row. We'll see what happens. As you mentioned, he wasn't running in the major leagues over there, but he comes in here on a pretty good run.
Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector for this race. I think this is a very tough race to make a projector. Big Dreaming the 6 is expected to make the lead. It's not like he's a blazer. If I'm Joel Rosario on Vanzi, who has proven that he can sit off for the pace, I would take advantage of this inside post and go. He's won in gate-to-wire fashion in the past.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I could actually see the both of the inside horses trying to go forward in here. I'm not sure that Bye Bye Melvin's as fast as Vanzi is, but I could see them trying to get forward with that horse as well.
Well, let's watch what they both did last time out in the Jersey Derby. Better trip for Vanzi, who just shoots up the inside. Bye Bye Melvin is 3 wide and in between horses, and there's no give from Bye Bye Melvin in the stretch. He fights hard, but Vanzi just had the trip from start to finish, basically able to save ground throughout. This comes off the heels of a good effort in the Kent, where I think he was pushing a really fast pace on the chase, and I don't really think that was a bad effort at all, considering the competition he was in against. 1 1/8 miles, also a little bit far for him. So the turn back and the trip worked for Vanzi last time out. I just wonder, I see a trip like that, and I wonder, was last time the time?
I sort of look at it the same way. I mean, listen, he did run fine in there. Obviously, the trip helped him. Not going to knock the performance. I thought he ran okay in the Kent. I was a little concerned that when they tried him against, the really good horses, 3 starts back, he was absolutely no match. Not that the really good horses are in this field, Dan, but it just makes me wonder, how good Vanzi is overall. They can get a good trip in this race, and I think he's a contender, but I went elsewhere.
I think Bye Bye Melvin was dirtied up going into the Jersey Derby and probably shouldn't have been 37-1. I mean, he won 2 turf races at Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Derby's another throwout. And the Kent Stakes was a race we talked about where he was kind of down inside, and then he had some traffic trouble. We just weren't sure if he had any run after he had the traffic trouble, but he was in traffic. Last time out in the Jersey Derby, they got a little bit more forward with him. He ran fine, and I think the blinkers are going to help this horse.
I think so too. And again, if he was mine, if I was Graham Motion, I'd probably just tell Johnny to try and go forward with him and see if you could either make the lead or just sit right up close. We already talked about how Vanzi had the better trip in the Jersey Derby, but it's not like Bye Bye Melvin had a bad one. I mean, he just sat right up there on the pace, and he was really no match at the end. He has to improve.
3 Technique, the number 3, is a very interesting new shooter on the turf for Jeremiah Engelhardt, because this colt did some nice things on the main track last year at Saratoga. He's stakes placed this year, and in his last 2 starts, what do you want from him? He's in against Nadal and the Rebel at a distance that's probably too far, and then they ran him off the layoff in the Jerkins against Echo Town. He's getting some class relief, and he's by Mr. Speaker, who's a pretty good turf horse.
Yeah, you asked, what do you want from him? I wanted him to run better in the Jerkins, and then probably stay on the main track. I don't know. I don't know how much I like this move, Dan. And listen, maybe this was something they had in their mind all along to try turf with him. He is by Mr. Speaker, but really, there's not a ton of turf here. I mean, the Dam did win on the grass, but she was 1 for 10. She's had 4 foals to try the grass. 1 of them won on it. That was a low-level maiden claiming race that horse won. I mean, there's not a ton of pedigree here. I feel like off of a bad race on dirt, this is not the kind of move that I want to be betting this horse taking.
I'm more concerned about the distance as well. I think I like him better going 1 turn, 6.5, 7 furlongs. Limperator is up next, and this is a horse that won 3 in a row in kind of the minor leagues in France, but now he's with Chad Brown. He's getting Lasix for the first time, and Chad, as usual, knows how to read the condition book, knows how to read the stakes knobs. He's found a good spot to see what he has.
I think that's true, and we'll see what he has here, Dan. I don't know about you. I watched his races in France. I wasn't blown away by them. He did win at 1.25 miles. The last time we saw him, he looked okay in that race. The race 2 back, it felt like he got very lucky to win. He just held on at the end. I don't know. He didn't do that much for me. And especially with these connections, I expect him to take some money in here, and I don't want a short price on this horse.
Don Juan Kitten scored last time out over course and trip. We're going to watch that race right now. There was a runaway, tear-away pace setter. Don Juan Kitten's just inhaled him, and he's moved to the front, and he is drawing off from this field. He's going to hop back to his left lead late, but he did a lot of running the middle part just to catch up to the leader, and he really isn't threatened at all. Nice to see the buyer jump as well for Danny Gargan, up to an 89, and he has some tactical speed as well. Kendrick Carmouche can play the break here, and he shouldn't be too far off of him when the real running begins.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dan. He ran well in that race. You know, he really did have the run of that race last time. He did, you know, the runoff leader just opened up a huge margin, and this horse was basically the de facto pace setter in there. He got a great trip. He also ran really well, though, and his race 2 back was also really good. I mean, just gunned down late by domestic spending. This horse is in really good form right now. Save the horse, the race off the layoff at Gulfstream back in March, Dan. He's run well in every one of his starts.
I realize that the number 6 Big Dreaming may seem a little bit slow on paper, but there is something here, and it's something besides the beautiful pedigree. His Damn Dreaming Havana, just an extremely talented horse, whether it's turf or synthetic. This horse ran well in his debut for Michael Stidham. Wayne Catalano got him and just put him in spot after spot where he could get his confidence up. I think he's very professional, and with this pedigree, it's too early to give up on him at a price. He's tactical as well.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. He's just a horse that I wanted to use in here. He'll be forward, even if he doesn't make the lead. He's got good tactical speed. And I like the way that you put it, too. He's just very professional. That win last time, you know, it's not going to blow you away when you watch it, but he just did everything right. He rated when they wanted him to rate, and he came through between horses in the stretch, and he won very easily, and there's just still forward to go for this horse.
Irish Mias, the number 7, you could argue had the worst setup in the Jersey Derby, and he was still running on at the end to finish 3rd. That came on the heels of the Transylvania. His first start off a little bit of a break. He kind of was steadied in the first turn, wide into the stretch, really didn't fire hard in the stretch that day. But in the Jersey Derby, he perhaps was pace compromised. Now, he's the kind of horse that could get pace compromised because he doesn't have a lot of speed.
Yeah, the trip is going to be very important to him. We'll see if he gets one. I don't know, Dan. I was a fan of this horse's early on, and he's kind of lost me a little bit lately. I'm not a big fan of the recent races he's been running. Maybe he'll do better in here and get the right trip, but I was sort of looking elsewhere.
The 8, I'm a Pharaoh, entered main track only. We moved to the 9, Embolden, who just missed against restricted stakes competition at Colonial last time out. But something tells me Michael Stidham was merely using that race as a prep. It was his first race in 7.5 months. He found a decent spot, and I don't think Embolden emptied the tank there. I think we'll see a little bit of a better performance here.
Yeah, maybe we will. I guess I could go either way on this horse. He was an okay sprinter as a 2-year-old. It feels like he's going to be okay going this distance, Dan. I don't know. I just didn't love that last race. I know it was off the layoff. It was only a 4-horse field. He got a good trip in there, and he just, you know, the horse that beat him's okay, but I wouldn't like that horse in this race either.
Bodie Green was a little bit green when he was with Danny Pish at Sam Houston at Fairgrounds. He does have a little bit of a kick. He's now with Rapoli Stable and Michael Maker. We've said it time and time again. Maker knows how to find these horses and really improve them on the turf. Bodie Cream is the kind of horse that last time out, he got wired by Smooth Like Straight in a race where the pace kind of held together. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes with a strong kick here. I think 9-2 is a little light, though.
That was my problem with him. I actually like this horse, and I'm going to use him in this race, but I don't like the morning line price on him, that's for sure. He is a little bit of a closer. He showed more tactical speed 2 back at the Fairgrounds, and he actually ran pretty well in that race. He was in very tight through most of the stretch run there. I liked that performance from him. He didn't run great last time, but I think he's a lot better than that.
And speaking of Michael Maker, he also has the 11 Turn of Events, and talk about a step up in class. Let's watch his last race, a $40,000 maiden claimer. He prompted the pace on the outside with a nice trip. He's going to take the lead, and he's going to have to work to win. But with a career best 79 buyer, Maker's tried this horse in the past against graded company, ran him in the Palm Beach. He's always liked him, apparently. I wonder if he's in here to maybe provide a little bit of pace for Bodie Cream. I think if they give him a chance to run, he can outrun his odds. I think he's a little bit better than he looks on paper, but boy, this is a jump up in class.
I agree that he's better than he looks on paper, and he is tactical. The post draw is no bargain for him, but he's tactical, so maybe he gets the trip. I'll just point out that he was entered in an allowance race last Saturday, and that race got rained off the turf. So it feels like this is probably plan B or C for this horse.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 3 Saranac Stakes. We really liked the way Juan Kitten inhaled the leader with a mid-move and then finished it off in the lane. Now he gets a class test, but he has nice tactical speed, and I think he could be a decent price at post time. Mike, do you think we get 7-2 on Juan Kitten?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. I think he should be a fair price. And I really don't know where the money's going to go in here. So it'll be very important to wait and see how they bet the race. But I like this horse. I think he's going to get a good trip in here. And I just think he's run one good race after another.
5-10-6-1 for Mike, 5-1-2-9 for me. The Grade 3 Saranac is race number 3 at the Spa on Saturday. Approximate post 2:18 Eastern. Good luck.